I feel bad when we discuss this one because I am a huge fan of Gal Gadot. I look at Gal Gadot kind of the same way that I look at Scarlett Johansson. They're both like in a world of unbelievably boring and repetitive performances. Even when they give like an average performance, they just have so much charisma. Like they can capture an audience with stage presence alone. Gal Gadot does that in her unique way with having her unique accent and her unique way of delivering lines. I made Miracle watch the movie Red Notice, which she absolutely hated, and I liked just because it had Gal Gadot in it. And the funny thing about it is she actually makes fun of herself, or at least the writer of the movie made fun of her, because in this, you've seen the Imagine video, right? Everyone saw that.
We were all forced to watch it because COVID.
Let's describe this to people. So imagine if someone packed a bunch of like cannons with cringe, really tight, and then shot you in the chest like with a cringe cannonball. That's what this was.
Imagine
and that might be
a world without money.
Yeah, it's
coming from all the people that are rich.
A bunch of people who with like that was the best part. It's like it's all people, and like behind them, it's like this beautiful living room because they're all at home, and they're all like, imagine a world with no possessions, as they've just got very expensive possessions behind them.
Lockdowns are great.
Yeah, like it's very easy for me to lock down when I don't have to. It is proof of just how like disconnected most celebrities are from the common everyday human experience. I don't fault them for that. What they can't really understand what they no longer understand, right? They
should have had PR people say don't do that.
This is I make this point to Miracle all the time. I said, why, if you're a legacy celebrity, meaning that you didn't get famous on the internet, if you didn't use the internet to get famous, why would you ever even want to engage in social media? It's just a disaster it's landmines that you're going to have to constantly hover over and jump while trying to manage a career that could be just as easily handled by a PR person.
Yeah.
Like have a private, if you need to have a social media, have a private page for your friends and family.
Totally.
And then let your PR team post new Gal Gadot's new movie Red Notice comes out on the 15th at blah 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 on
That's
Netflix.
what they do for like Tim. Like kind of. That's what.
Yeah, but he has his own Instagram. He runs his own
true.
Instagram. But the point is like it's like for these people are already like kind of annoyed by them because they feel disconnected from the common person when they virtue signal, and that's what this was. It was a gigantic virtue signal. But she did have stuff to say here, and I thought the quote she had was pretty okay. So it says that's my take on it. It was pretty okay. So she could have handled it much worse, let's say. So it says. It says 2020 wouldn't have been as interesting of a conversation piece if Gal Gadot didn't cook up the viral Imagine video the internet roasted her over. It's almost hard to imagine, imagine a world where the infamous clip doesn't exist. This article's awesome. Almost 2 years after that fateful day, the Red Notice star has finally weighed in on the cover heard around the world, and it's a graceful handling of a still delicate situation. It says, Gadot discussed a wide ranging of happenings in her life thanks to a recent sit-down interview with InStyle. It was only a matter of time before the subject of the ill-fated clip took center stage, as it's still a moment that everyone continues to discuss here and there. For those of you who are waiting in great suspense, here's what she had to say. And I quote, and I'm going to try to read this as cleanly as possible because I have a history of screwing up quotes when people are like transcribed.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to quote, it's easier to read an article that's been typed rather than something that's been spoken.
Oh, yeah.
So it says, quote, it just felt right. And I don't take myself too seriously. And with the whole Imagine controversy, it's funny. I was calling Kristen Wiig and I was like, listen, I want to do this thing. The pandemic was in Europe and Israel before it came here to the United States in the same way. I was seeing where everything was headed, but the video was premature. It wasn't the right timing, and it wasn't the right thing. It was in poor taste, all pure intentions, but sometimes you don't hit the bullseye, right? I felt like I wanted to take the air out of it so that the event was a delightful opportunity to do that. So it's like she's admitting that, she had good intentions. I'm guessing that most of these celebrities, outside of like the worst of the worst virtue signalers where it just comes off as like baiting for career purposes, I'm sure most of them, as disconnected as they may be from us three, mean well when they do something like that. She probably doesn't know the origins of that song. and she's probably not really thinking about what the actual connotation of like a world without possession is when you're singing it to a bunch of people who struggle every day just to get theirs. And it doesn't make her a bad person here. It just makes her a little bit disconnected from you and me. So I try to be one of those people. Like, it was fun because Rogan roasted it. Remember, he's like, "Come on, guys!" Like, I'm one of those people. It's like I can acknowledge that you probably meant well, without. I'm still not going to stop taking the piss out of you because it was horrible.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be the hot take guy who's going to say it was the worst thing I've ever seen, but it was a cringe cannon shot straight to the chest of like millions and millions of people. So it says, on one hand, Gadot, did I say Gadot?
Yes, you did.
It's like cadet, but Gadot. Gadot admits that her attempt at a message of peace was, at the very least, a failure to read the room. That much was readily apparent when the group rendition of John Lennon's classic tune was enough to incur the wrath of Joe Rogan and others after it debuted. At this point in history, the COVID-19 pandemic, movie theaters were just starting to shut down as the world was uncertain how to safely move forward with everyday life. Even after living through the worldwide reaction to her video and admitting it was a wrong place, wrong time sort of sentiment, Gadot doesn't... God... Why am I saying that?
I always thought it was Gadot.
No, it's Gadot.
It really is Gadot?
It's Gadot.
Yeah, she says you have to pronounce the T.
It's It's like people who say Rihanna when it's not. It's
Rihanna?
It's Rihanna.
Rihanna?
She herself calls it Rihanna. It's not Rihanna.
Why is everybody complicated?
It's so complicated.
It's complicated.
So it says... So admitting that it was a wrong place, wrong time sort of sentiment, Miss Gadot doesn't backtrack or regret her decision to make that video, which quite frankly is a wise assessment. As the pandemic continued and society became more used to being stuck indoors and looking for entertainment, things like John Krasinski's Some Good News would start to form and become popular with audiences looking to feel good. I agree. Like, I follow a lot of Instagram channels that are like Good News Movement and like Bright Side IG, which just gives you like positive things to look at on a daily basis because social media is such a crap storm.
Oh yeah.
That I need that kind of break in my day of like so-and-so saved 3 kids
for sure.
3 kids from a burning building.
I've got a YouTube playlist I made called Smile Because Animals, and I've got a bunch of animal things. Like one is like a guy serenading a fox on a mountain. You know,
do you go looking for it? Do you just type in like...
No, whenever I see one, I add it to that list. So whenever I feel like,
How often is that?
Feeling bright. I've been doing it... I'll probably add one thing a month every now and then.
But how often do you watch that playlist?
Years. I actually haven't watched it all the way through yet.
It's like a commentary on your life.
Yeah.
Like, if you find yourself watching it more, you're like, man, I'm a little bit depressed lately.
I share it with people.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
It's unlisted, but maybe I'll make it listed.
Do you have anything you do to like brighten your day, like involving the internet?
Yeah, I go rewatch like old YouTube videos that I like to watch. So I'm rewatching this couple. They're not together anymore. I was really depressed. I told Brett about this. They divorced in February 2020 because the husband
not the greatest lead in.
Who's the couple?
Eat Your Kimchi. Simon and Martina.
No.
Basically, so
we live in different worlds.
Sorry.
Very different. That's what makes it work.
Okay, so this is what happened. So I wanted to be a foodie. So my whole initial...
She also wanted to be a travel influencer.
Yeah.
And an influencer and a travel vlogger.
Yeah.
Anything else? I think she wanted to be a professional wrestler.
No, I didn't.
She wanted to maybe be a sous chef. No.
So what happened was I wanted to be an influencer, but then my first goal was to be a foodie because I was really into trying.
This is the internet age, dude. This is literally we're looking at the consequence. We're looking at the consequences of the internet right here.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey. So foodie, basically, how to describe it? Because this is not the first time I had to describe it to somebody. So basically, I try new foods that could be trendy and like unusual to people, and I tell you how it tastes and take photos of them.
So ASMR almost.
Kind of.
With
like
a description.
It's like food porn.
It's an offshoot.
It's food porn.
It's an offshoot of a regular influencer focused on
mainly food.
A subsidiary of an ASMR channel.
It's mainly like food, but no. Like for me, I wouldn't like.
Well, they didn't watch them eat. They just post pictures of it and then write reviews.
No, well, the couple that I watch,
So like an independent contractor for Yelp, but you don't work for Yelp.
Kinda. But basically, they used to live in Korea, and I remember watching them leaving Korea, moving to Japan, and I watched their adventures living in Japan, and then they went back to Canada because originally they were from Canada.
Oh, Canada.
Yeah, they went back to Canada, and I was
Square
like,
wheels,
why
the whole
are they
thing.
separate in separate houses? And then I found out by doing a search on Google and Reddit, they got divorced, and I was really depressed.
So
and I was
Japan really tore them apart.
well, it's because like the husband, he was like going through some shit, but their love story in the beginning, before them divorcing, basically the wife, she has this weird connection disease. It's called EDS, so it's not what you're thinking, but get your mind out of the gutter.
EDS?
It's called EDS. So basically,
There's no S in the one you're thinking of.
I know.
Yeah.
And I wasn't thinking that. You're
I
the one with the
wasn't
mind.
either.
You're the freaking weird one with your mind
Now
in
I
the
am.
gutter.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Typical.
yeah, so EDS
Typical.
is basically a connective tissue disorder. So like there's some days where she's sleeping and her jaw disconnects, or like her shoulder
That's
will pop out of
scary.
place. Yeah, so she didn't know about this disease when she was like 13. So she broke her arm, and she was like, oh, I can't, like she didn't know she broke her arm until like everybody was like, oh my God, what happened to your arm? So she has a high pain tolerance, but with this high pain
And this makes her happy.
no. The reason why
What do we? Yeah.
let me
She's taking the very, very, very long roundabout snowstorm car accident,
So
really long detour around to telling you about something on the internet that makes her
What's
happy.
positive about this miracle?
As she's literally listed like 9 negatives.
Yeah. there's
And
gotta be a
in a
happy ending
vague
somewhere.
description of the couple.
Well, it's because like I'm happy when like this is because Andy asked me what I wanted to do for my birthday.
Okay, finish what you're saying and then get back to it.
So
She likes seeing other people happy is what she's saying.
yeah, I like seeing other people happy. So when she like eats food and describes like how food is, and like when she makes like a new recipe or like explores or makes like new things, I get happy because like
Okay.
she's happy. And then I also watch David Stowe's old skits, and I listen to his podcast. Like
So that's the stuff that brightens your day when you're in a bad mood.
yeah, like I like watching like weird things that make me happy. Or sometimes I'll just listen to like random skips, like Angela Johnson's skit in the nail salon. That makes me laugh every time.
You know, I'd once wrote like a post-it note
Mm-hmm.
to put on my window where I'd see it every day that said like smile.
Aww.
And I had a New Year's resolution to like smile at least once a day. Because that's proven to improve your mood.
Yeah,
I think.
but also I really want Martina to come here. She lives in Japan now, but her
You can pay for her ticket.
but
Who's Martina?
she's the couple that used to be Eat Your
She's
Kimchi.
two people in one.
Sorry, you know what I meant.
To Become
No.
One is a fantastic Spice
Yeah.
Girls song.
Yeah, but basically, she has her own new YouTube channel called King Kogi, and it's after her stuffed pig that she uses for like support on airplanes when she used to travel. And she would go like wee 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 wee.
I hate traveling with her.
Yeah, but I really wanted like her to come because like I feel like she kind of shaped up my life because I always wanted to like travel. That was my main goal. So
And you made it as far as West Virginia.
no,
Maryland.
I went to Japan. I went all over
Really?
Asia. Yeah.
When were you in Japan?
I went to Japan when I was 16 for spring break, and then I went to Japan when I turned 21.
You might have been there when my sister was teaching English there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went
It's
there.
a small world.
Yeah, I went there for my birthday. So I went to Vietnam first, and then after like 1 week of Vietnam, we went to Japan, and I was just hanging out. I was hanging out with my friend Kodai. I don't know if you watch these, but because he's on my old Instagram. But he was really cool, and he was like trying to be like a tour guide, and we went to Akihabara, and he was like, thank you for like inviting me. I never been to Akihabara before. I live in Tokyo, but I just never been in this part. So this
Yeah.
is like a weird experience.
You say Vietnam like the Brits say vitamin.
Really?
Vitamin.
Vietnam.
Vitamin.
Well, there's
I
like,
dated a Vietnamese girl once,
Mm-hmm.
and she said it like that as well.
oh really? Okay, because like everybody like corrects me, and now I'm scared to say Vietnam.
No.
No, that's
Yeah.
I think that's how people.
Never
just
let
gonna-
anyone tell you how you have to pronounce
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, because like I get scared sometimes pronouncing it, but like but
You
now
know
I'm
what
just gonna say Nam when I
Yeah.
went to Nam.
I went to Nam.
When I went to Nam, but no, a lot of people like because I'm mixed of Vietnamese also, a lot of people see that mainly, so they'll speak Vietnamese to me, and they're like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. Can you just give me the
I speak
food?
Bakersfield.
I speak Bakersfield.
I speak Long Beach, California. Can you speak LBC?
I speak over enunciated English.
Yes.
Yeah, well, it's funny because like LBC, like the second language is Cambodian, and I kind of know how to speak it because I'm mixed with that too. I'm a mixed breed.
That was the name of that was the heritage of the character in that show, The Cleaning Lady. She's a Cambodian.
There's a show called The Cleaning Lady.
It's so bad.
It's on
it's
on
so
Fox.
bad, and it's ruined because it's Elodie Young, who's one of the best actresses working today, and it's just
Really?
so
So
bad.
it's based
She's the
on-
one who plays Elektra in Daredevil.
Oh, that's saddening.
But oh man, I had something great I was going to say, and I totally forgot.
That miracle is long-winded.
That miracle is well, no, it was something positive I was going to say. It wasn't going to be ragging on you.
Well,
I
I was
like
go-
that story. I like
Yeah,
that story.
well, I really like it because like I like people who have like multiple layers. It's like an onion. Like onions have multiple layers.
Why do we keep coming back to onions
Yeah,
today?
I was like, okay, Shrek, onions, layers.
Shrek is love, Shrek is life. That's why.
Oh God.
But yeah, I just like people who have multiple layers because like Martina, she also taught me like when you're having a depressing day, think of your day as building a ladder. So first when you start off your day, you're really depressed. Build like little things like first, like let me get out, choose a cute outfit. That's one rung built.
Mm-hmm.
And then second rung, let's make a cutesy
it's a
breakfast.
rum, not a rum.
What did I
You
say?
said rum.
Oh, sorry.
She's like, have your first glass of rum
Yeah.
in the morning, and then after you've picked out your outfit, have your second glass of rum, and the day just gets better. It's like magic.
It's like magic,
It's
you
like-
guys.
it's
I
just
swear I'm not an alcoholic.
a whole bunch of rum makes your day. By the way, I do want to point out they do mention at the end here that Gal Gadot has a new movie coming out called what's it called? The new Hercule Poirot. I can never pronounce that correct.
What's
You know,
correctly.
this is funny because maybe that was the reason she wrote this article. It was like, well, I'm mostly known for this, so let's use that as like
Well, no,
a
she was likely on a press tour.
shoehorn into
Yeah.
this.
She was likely on a press tour, and they got this article out of that press tour.
Also,
Um,
fun fact about the song Imagine. It was written in early 1971.
Death on the Nile. That's the name of the movie.
Okay.
Sorry,
Yeah, Death
keep
in the
going.
Nile. Basically, John Lennon, he wrote this song because he just bought a new piano and spray painted white for his wife Yoko Ono's birthday. And soon afterwards, he wrote Imagine on it. And Imagine was inspired heavily by Yoko Ono's, who used the words in many of her 1960s concept artworks.
Okay.
Yeah, and then also I went down the rabbit hole. So one of the questions was, what's the main idea of the song Imagine? So the song / poem reflects the dream of a poet who wants to see a world problem free. So that's why he talks about like no religion.
Utopianism.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard the
Utopianism.
original song.
And then
It's-
there's another question that kind of alarmed me. Is Imagine a communistic song?
it sounds like it.
It's
But-
unimportant to this discussion because what's important here is that
Yeah.
Gal Gadot is so charismatic that she survived one of the cringiest moments of 2020.
Well, it's because people still remember she filmed Wonder Woman, the first movie, pregnant.
I never knew that actually.
I thought you knew this fun fact.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Sounds dangerous for the baby.
No, so basically what they
Arguably.
did, they CGI her stomach because she did have a stomach.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna need somebody to fact check Miracle on that.
I don't
think
think
she's
it's-
lying.
I don't think it's the first movie, but it's one
Okay,
of
well
the
then
Wonder
that's
Here.
important. It's not the first one.
The
it's the second
implications
one.
of that would be.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Okay. Well,
was Gal Gadot pregnant filming Wonder Woman.
so the fact is that she's extremely charismatic and she survived one of the cringiest moments. And what she gave here was like, you know what? It is what it is. Everyone went through their own little temporary psychosis when they went through the pandemic, right? Like everyone was acting weird. Toilet paper was missing.
Ha! I was right. It was the first Wonder Woman movie. She was 5 months pregnant. Ha! Sorry.
That's loud.
Sorry. It's because he didn't believe my statement.
I stand corrected. You are correct.
Yeah, she was up to 5 months pregnant and they CGI her stomach.
Oh.
That's weird. You think that they would make that she'd be more wonderful if she was pregnant.
Well, they didn't make a big deal about it, but they did talk about it on Entertainment Tonight
Got it.
for a bit. and then it disappeared.
That is interesting. That is a new fun fact with Miracle Movie Edition, which is good for me because I'm enjoying that.
Yeah, Miracle's just long-winded today.
I like it.
She's slowly turning into an old man. I did tell people before, I feel like my past life I was just a gay old man.
Brett, what were you saying before? I'm trying hard not to be sidetracked because you were saying something.
About what?
You were, so we started going into Gal Gadot and
Death on the Nile.
Yeah, Death on the Nile, but she living through.
Oh, I just basically like the idea is like everyone during that situation, everyone handled it in their own way, and in a sense, it's bad because it's annoying because it got out there and like so many more people saw it.
Yeah.
But everybody kind of probably acted a little bit in a way that they wouldn't necessarily act normally. You're cooped up.
Oh, for sure.
The funny thing is the pandemic didn't affect my life almost at all because I worked at that time. My job, I worked around almost no one, so I didn't get furloughed at my job, and I skated by myself every day. During the pandemic, I was like, I was skating every day in places where I would normally get kicked out because the businesses were all closed.
Yeah.
I'm like, can we do this forever? I will do this forever.
Honest, it wasn't like that terrible for me either because I also worked remote.
Well,
the worst thing was when they shut the gym down because that was like my one thing I did every day.
Well, good for you guys. I worked at a convenience store 12 hours, 7 days a week. And
did they shut that down?
No.
That's literally called abuse.
It was a family convenience store, but like they asked me.
That doesn't make it any less
and
true.
I was also going to college during this time too, so I was like mentally stressed out.
I bet.
Yeah, I barely passed my Japanese class with a D. Because I wasn't studying because I didn't have time to study. Like, legit, I was tired at the end of the day.
It happens, man. For me, it was like, because I was skating alone every single day during that period, and all of a sudden, all the businesses are closed, and I'm a loner anyways. Like, being here, working with you guys, this is like the most social interaction I've had in like 15 years. Okay, that's not true. That's a huge exaggeration. But but I did see it happen to a lot of my friends. They had weird reactions to being cooped up indoors. People who weren't normally like that, right?
Yeah.
So I forgive her for that. And she had nothing to apologize for. Like, you know what? I did something. People thought it was cringy. Whatever. Just it's not like it's gonna follow somebody that talented, that charismatic, who's getting all these roles. She's doing this. She's got Death on the Nile coming out. They'll do Wonder Woman 3. She's got the Cleopatra movie coming out as well that I think Patty Jenkins backed out of. So there's all sorts of stuff coming out. Her career is not going to be hurt by this, but it's cool that she was able to address it. She didn't say the fans are trolls and everybody's mean to me. She just said, you know what?
She didn't pull a Seth Rogen. Yeah,
she handled it the way a poised, talented celebrity actually would. Yeah. How would you handle it?
How would I handle it?
If you woke up one day and you realize like the day before, you're like, holy crap, what did I just like? Imagine you made the Imagine video and this comes out and then the next day you're like, oh crap.
Well, also Carter has a really pretty voice too.
That's true.
Well, but she also included a bunch of other people, some of which didn't have pretty voices. I don't know.
And I did point out that she did address this. They made this a scene in the movie Red Notice where she sings to a character while torturing them because she's the bad guy in the movie. And it's kind of a riff. Like the guy's like, you've got a really pretty voice. And like, it's clearly a nod to that incident. So she doesn't take herself too seriously.
Yeah, you can't.
I like her as a person. Like, legit, she's very charismatic.
Yep. I put a premium on that concept because that's what separates most of the people, the it factor. It's the undefinable it. You don't know what makes it real, but it is. You can absolutely... Charisma is not something that can really be taught.
You can practice it.
You can learn stage presence, but stage presence and charisma aren't necessarily the same thing.
Yeah, Simulu. I mean, what?
Here's Miracle going off on another tangent.
Sorry.
It's okay. Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.